Hello, friends. Good evening. Hope you are having a wonderful day today. This is Kuldeep, and I welcome you all in another session of the weekly live that we are doing for our cyclist friends, cyclist participants, and we are helping them in various aspects of the cycling. हमने जितने भी प्रीवियस सेशन हुए हमने बहुत से टॉपिक्स टच किए हैं उन सेशंस में एंड यू कैन फाइंड दो सेशंस ऑन आवर यूट्यूब चैनल ऑन आवर फेसबुक हैंडल्स एंड आई एम श्योर यू विल फाइंड देम वेरी हेल्पफुल सो लेट्स वेलकम श्रीराम
Hello.
हेलो श्रीराम हाउ
All good, Kuldeep.
गुड गुड वेलकम टू द वीकली लाइफ
Thank you.
सो जैसा कि हमने पहले भी बताया है कोच श्रीराम के बारे में ही इज़ अ फुल पैकेज ऑफ साइकिलिंग कोच. He has a good experience of as a cyclist because he started his cycling from his college days around 20-25 years back. He has done MTB in Himachal. He has been a bicycle technician in a known cycling MNC. He has done a professional course from one of the US university in bicycle mechanic. Currently, he is a ACE certified coach and he is a founder of Sprocket Science India. And he organizes various uh, cycling events also. And yes, he is a coach of both beginners and expert cyclists, and he is helping them in improving their performance or some very specific courses like improving their speed or riding in the hilly terrain or improving their cycling time, all those things he is helping them. So once again, welcome to the show, Sriram.
Thank you.
So Sriram, आज
Yes.
क्या हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं? So
आज आज हम लोग योगा के बारे में डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. तो
wow,
यस.
yoga is a very important aspect of any training, be it cycling, be it running, be it swimming, or
Correct.
like just for being a fit. It's very important exercise or activity, fitness activity, and of course, kudos to our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, जिन्होंने योगा को एक इंटरनेशनल स्टेज दिया है एंड हम सभी उनके आभारी है कि हमारे देश की एक धरोहर योगा जिसको अब पूरा
Yes.
वर्ल्ड जानने लगा है. सो
Correct.
वी आर रियली एक्साइटेड टू नो अबाउट योगा पोजेज फॉर साइक्लिस्ट फ्रॉम आवर कोच श्रीराम. सो यस श्रीराम, आज क्या बताने
Yes.
वाले आप योगा के बारे में?
um, आज एक्चुअली योगा मैं पहले उसके बारे में मैं ज़्यादा मैं करता नहीं था. आई वाज नॉट डूइंग अ लॉट ऑफ yoga pehle. So I was only cycling and cycling and cycling, and that was the workout. But once you have an injury, you understand the importance of off the bike workouts and life. So off the bike thing could be strength training. अगर आप जिम जा रहे हो, या off the bike could be yoga, or off the bike could be a walk. So anything that you do off the bike also matters a lot for your on bike performance. तो मैं योगा से तभी जुड़ पाया जब मुझे इंजरी हुआ था. तो जनरली व्हेन यू गेट इंजर्ड यू सी यू आस्क क्वेश्चंस ज़्यादातर. एंड जब क्वेश्चंस पूछते हो तो ज़्यादातर आंसर आता है कि आपको स्ट्रेंथ डेवलप करना है, या फिर you need to work on your flexibility, and you need to work on rehab. And a lot of rehab is something which a lot of cyclists will see, that when you do rehab, you're not always cycling, you're doing something else which is completely uh, you know awkward, or something which your body is not used to. Yoga was something that was introduced like that for me in my life, and I think I have been practicing it on and off. I've not been regular, uh, and when I'm not been regular, I know that basically you kind of see the pain. So basically, yoga ka why it's important is, as a cyclist, I'll talk today, and for yoga is I love cycling, but for me to do cycling at some X amount of speed or intensity, whatever performance, your muscles are asked a lot, right? And when you're pushing yourself, when you push yourself, that is when you can do uh, when you push yourself is when you will see that yoga becomes very very a, a, a important part of your um, important part of your training, right? So um, what is yoga? Yoga is basically for the mind and the body both. Again, it's just not for the body, it's also for the mind. If you want to make notes, you can have a pen and paper, or you can use your cell phone as always. I'm just looking into my notes. um, Basically, yoga ensures you learn the art of mindful breathing and are aware of your body. Okay, so when done properly, you you're aware of your body, and you have a control on your breath, and understand how your body functions mentally and physically. So for a lot of people who are not into sports, yoga is very helpful. For people who are into sports, it kind of calms you down, puts you back into reset kind of mode, and it helps your body heal, right? Is it helpful for cyclists? Definitely it is. um, uh, I would say if you do not do yoga, you might have to uh, have some pain in your body, right? So जब आप योगा करना बंद कर दोगे, तब आप पेन के दरवाजे, दर्द के दरवाजे खोलोगे, right? So I would say do yoga, be supple, be flexible, so you'll be less pain on the bike, right? Um, Different people have got different benefits from yoga. Some people find their bodies getting very flexible, much more flexible than before yoga. Other people find flexibility पे ज़्यादा असर नहीं पड़ेगा अभी शॉर्ट टर्म में. माइंड पे बहुत कामिंग इन्फ्लुएंस रहता है योगा का. बट जो भी है, किसी को नेगेटिव फीलिंग नहीं आता योगा से. आई थिंक इट्स ऑल पॉजिटिव. तो इट्स ऑल इन ऑल पॉजिटिव रीजन वाई यू शुड डू योगा. But coming to cycling specifically, I've seen a lot of riders, including me, eh, all of us, at some point or other, and at some point or the other, you have these left-right imbalances in a body. So if you cut your body vertically like this into two halves, left and right, you'll understand that there is a lot of imbalances in our posture, in our muscles, for whatever reason. Okay. Uh, but that can be sometimes yoga can be helpful in reducing the problems of imbalances left and right. Okay. So if you see, I'll take you through some of the stretches in a short time. uh, you have your left hamstrings, right hamstrings. Hamstrings are the muscles behind your leg, behind your thigh. So those can be less tighter than the other, and that could be an issue when you're actually pushing on the bike, right? So those can be reduced considerably through yoga. ठीक है. इम्बैलेंसेस रहते हैं, हो सकते हैं, कोई इशू नहीं है. आप उसको कैसे डील कर सकते हो योगा के थ्रू, वो इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है. सो दैट्स व्हाई योगा इज वन. हाउ शुड वन स्टार्ट योगा? अगर आप अ, आज से शुरू कर रहे हो, बहुत नए हो योगा में, इफ इट्स योर फर्स्ट टाइम यू गोना ट्राई इट आउट, आई वुड से do not jump into it. Go get into it slowly. One or two sessions a week is very good to start off with. But I've seen a lot of people do yoga once in a month. Really doesn't add value. अगर आप एक महीने में एक बार करोगे तो उसका यूज नहीं है. हफ्ते में अगर एक बार करोगे तब उसका कुछ ना कुछ फायदा हो सकता है. सो आई थिंक lesser than a week, once, even less than once a week is too little, right? Once or twice, very good. Anything more, if you have the time, you can do. um, yeah. See, I'm not a yoga expert, but I would like to say that for me, what has worked, maybe for I can talk for me alone right now, is whenever I want to do some stretching and yoga, I have to do a warm up. So for me, I always do like a short run or a short ride, or If both are not possible, then at least some skipping to get a little bit warmed up, so that blood is pumping. And warm up, what I mean is, if you start sweating, naturally, if you start sweating, not because if you are in a hot area or a hot place under the sun, but generally, if you start sweating, um, because of some activity, physical activity where you're moving around like a cardio, after a 15-20 minute activity, I get into yoga. That is my style. That is how I do it. A lot of people might say, "Nahi, it works for you. You can choose to be that, do that." Um, a lot of the postures which I'm going to take. So yeah, um, you should focus on breathing and stretching while doing yoga. Getting in and getting out of a pose should be done nice and easy. And I would say spend some time in the pose, holding the pose. Don't be in a rush. Like 2 minutes is good enough, minimum. 2 to 3 minutes. I think, you can do more than that, but less than that, the pose, holding the pose might not be very, um, less than that should not be, it won't be useful, right? um, yeah, so that's what it is. Also understand that when you start doing some pose for the first time, it will take some time for the body to adapt to that pose. So आप करते रहोगे poses, yoga, stretching, आप आपका flexibility बेहतर होता जाएगा, ठीक है? तो let me just show you some of these poses. I'm going to present my screen right now, and hopefully you should be able to see some of the stretches. I'll walk you through, uh, with it, and you can see it. um, yep. So yeah, uh, the first and foremost is, these are glute stretches. Glutes is, your butt muscle. um, अलग अलग तरह के glute stretches कर सकते हो आप. uh, यहाँ पे जो दिखाया गया है, ये इसको आप अगर देखते हो योगा में, इट्स कॉल्ड पिजन पोज ऑल्सो. ये जो है, राइट एंड लेफ्ट दोनों करना है आपको वार्म अप के बाद. अम, ये एक तरह का स्ट्रेच है, ठीक है? ये दूसरा तरह का स्ट्रेच है चेयर पे बैठ के, right? There are more different type of stretches you can do in glutes, but I've just given you two of these, which are pretty common. There are multiple variations of these, of glute stretches. You can choose whichever you want, you think is okay. But let me tell you that before you do any kind of yoga, ensure that you are certified to do all these postures. Some people might have a slip disc, some people might have a bad neck, some people might have some other issues for a long time. Then these stretches might not be the best thing. Some of these stretches might be have to be avoided, while some of the other stretches might actually be very beneficial. So you will have to decide which stretch works for you. You'll have to get a sign off from your doctor, okay, before you go into these stretches. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Glute stretches. These are the two stretches which I've given you. Then we go on to hamstrings. Hamstring is something which is connecting the glutes to the, the thigh, back of the thigh muscle. Okay, so it's like this. You can do it with a chair. Um, with a chair. So if your hamstrings are very tight, the chair is better. If your hamstrings are pretty okay, you can do it with a towel. This is a very effective stretch for the hamstrings, with the towel. But ensure that your knee is not bent, and you don't raise your hips. So hips को उठाना नहीं है आपको, धीरे से उठाना है पाँव को, एंड टावल के जरिए यू कैन get a really nice stretch, but do it after a nice warm up, as I told you. And don't rush into it. Stay there for a couple of minutes to feel the stretch and see the relief that you can get. This is another stretch for the hamstring, which is on the mat. Again, this could be something which you can try. Any of these three stretches. You have the mat one, you have the towel stretch, and you have the chair one. The chair one is the easiest in terms of degree of flexibility. If your hamstrings are really tight, the chair is what will work for you. Okay. right? And you have calf stretch, again, lower leg muscles, calf stretch standing. um, you can do it with standing, like this, how it's shown, with the front leg being stretched. And then you can do it this way also. This stretch is for the back leg. This calf muscle is getting stretched right now. Okay. I like both of these stretches. I do this one a lot. Okay. You can also do the quad stretch. Quads are these muscles which are front of your thigh. Um, you can do this. The person who is going back with his arms. Um, the other one is the way she is doing it, with the pulling the knee right angle. This is for the back leg, not for the front one. So this is a quad stretch. The other one, the easiest one, is obviously the standing one. The standing one is not that effective. If you continue doing it for a long time, it's not that effective. But the seated one like this is much better, and this is the most you'll get most amount of stretch here. It's really next level thing. So if you want to go into this level, you need to really work your way up. So there are different degrees of quad stretch you can do. The other thing is called a child's pose. Very simple. Your glutes also get stretched. Your back, all the back muscles get stretched here. Quads also get stretched. So it's a very nice stretch. I think this is a fantastic stretch to do. Helps you recover nicely. You can focus on breathing. Then the other one is a downward facing dog, it's called. So it's a straight line like a V. And if you're not able to put your heel down, you can lift your heel in this stretch, not an issue. Once you do the downward facing dog, you can also go into upward facing dog, which is a very good opener for all the front part of your body. So it opens your chest, it opens your hip flexors. Very nice. Okay. Um, and then side plank is something which also works on your balance and, you know, just awareness of your body. It should be one straight line from the head to the toe, as you can see at an angle. And you can hold this for a minute or more than a minute. 2 minutes also is good enough. You can change the other side, obviously. And then this is something which is very useful. It's called a cat camel. So this is very good for cyclists. You can arch your back this way, then you can arch the back the other way. It's really relaxing. So if you've ridden a very long ride, uh, and then you can relax your muscles like that. That's it. I will take your questions and then I can jump back to these poses. Yes. Any questions? Okay, we have questions. Is there a certain yoga poses for cervical spondylitis? Mm, okay, I will not be able to answer that specifically because I'm not sure of how long your issue is for, and what are the do's and don'ts. Best is to see a physiotherapist and consult him or her for what all stretches you can do, what all stretches you should not do. So yeah, if you have any issues, I would say for all those who are watching, any of these stretches which I just showed you is best to be done after taking a consultation or a reference from a sports medicine doctor, right? He or she can help you understand where your body is with respect to the muscles, and he or she can tell you whether any of these stretches are useful. Most of these stretches are very commonly prescribed for by doctors, but then which one is good for you, we do not know that. But I've just given you a very general routine of stretching, which I think helps a lot of cyclists. um, yeah. Any other questions? If we have, we can take them. So yeah, basic idea is, if you see that left and right imbalances are always very common for cyclists. How if we just do these stretches regularly, your appointments with doctors or your appointments with sports medicine doctors can come down. You can actually avoid being in pain and being off the bicycle. So all these things have to be done like in a proactive manner. um, Once you already have an injury or a like a tightness in the body, that just means to say that either your training is just, you've just taken on too much workload on training, and you have started, started riding 50, 100, 200, 300, something like that. So bad training can be a reason of body kind of saying, you know what, stop. Also it could be good training, good training plan, good training program, but you're not doing the stretching part. So good training in terms of progression of your cycling distances, but not having enough rest days or having enough of off the saddle strength training or yoga in this case. So today's session is all about getting some yoga into your workout program on a weekly basis. If you're able to do some stretching on a weekly basis, even once a week, is very effective. Twice a week is great. Anything more, amazing. I mean, you have the time to do it, fantastic, right? So that's all from me. Um, you can always reach out to me. I have some yoga poses which I've put up on my Instagram handles as well. You can follow Instagram handles Sprocket Science India. Almost all of these yoga poses which I've just showed are there on the Instagram. Yes.
So thanks, Ram, for this lovely session.
Hmm.
So this session was from a Sriram, कोच श्रीराम के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से,
Yeah.
फ्रॉम साइक्लिस्ट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से,
Yeah.
कि एक साइकिलिस्ट साइकिलिस्ट के लिए योगा पोजेज के क्या सिग्निफिकेंस है, कौन कौन से योगा पोजेज इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं, बिकॉज वी कैन फाइंड दीज पोजेज ऑन यूट्यूब, ऑन गूगल, एवरीवेयर, बट एक साइकिलिस्ट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से
Right.
बहुत मुश्किल से मिलती है वो चीज़.
Correct.
दैट्स वाई we are discussing these poses. And yes, as कोच श्रीराम ने जैसे पहले बताया कि ही इज़ नॉट अ सर्टिफाइड योगा टीचर, सो इट्स नॉट गुड कि वो उनको अभी डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करे. So
Right.
that's why he wanted to discuss these poses with us. And yes, he rightly said we should have yoga stretches in our training plan at least once in a week, whether you are a runner, whether you are cyclist, or you are getting trained for triathlon or duathlon. So it should be
एक
in our schedule.
एक पॉइंट ऐड करना चाहूँगा कि योगा के साथ-साथ आप एक्चुअली मेरे सामने ही है यहाँ पे, आप ऐसे फ़ोम रोलर जो है, फ़ोम रोलर इसको बोलते हैं। तो ये ऐसा दिखता है, सिलेंडर के जैसे, ठीक है? हॉलो सिलेंडर है ये, ठीक है? तो आप इसको यूज़ कर सकते हो। ये काफ़ी सही है, वेरी वेरी हेल्पफुल। अगर आप फ़ोम रोलिंग कर रहे हो, तो इट ऑल्सो एड्स अ लॉट ऑफ वैल्यू। ये योगा के लिए डायरेक्टली रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं है, बट अगर आप फोम रोलिंग भी करोगे, तो मैं काफ़ी सारे अपने जो एथलीट्स को कोच करता हूँ, मैं उनको फोम रोलिंग भी बताता हूँ ऑन अ वीकली बेसिस। अगेन, जो भी करते हो अच्छा काम, योगा, फोम रोलिंग, अगर आप हफ्ते में एक बार करोगे तो ही काम आएगा, ठीक है? तो फोम रोलिंग भी अगर आप महीने में एक बार करोगे तो शायद से इतना यूजफुल नहीं रहेगा। दैट्स माय पॉइंट।
Right. We should maintain the consistency. That's,
यस।
you rightly mentioned it. We should have at least once in a week if you cannot do it twice or thrice, because we have to give rest to everything. We have to do strength training. We have to do core exercise. We have to go out for our ride or run. So
यस।
yes, but at least एक दिन योगा के नाम भी होना चाहिए.
करेक्ट।
And
करेक्ट।
of course, foam rolling is a very good exercise. Very good, like जो acute पेन होते हैं ना, रनर्स और
Yes.
साइकिलिस्ट बहुत अच्छे से समझ सकते हैं इस चीज़ को। एक
Correct.
पॉइंट
Correct.
पे दर्द हो रहा होता है, उसके लिए बहुत अच्छी चीज़ है फोम
Correct.
रोलिंग।
Yes. Yes.
एंड सो श्रीराम, ये
Hmm.
मेरा क्वेश्चन है। मैंने
Hmm.
बहुत सी जगह देखा है फोम रोलिंग में, एंड ऑफ कोर्स यूट्यूब पे बहुत से ट्रेनर्स हैं जो इसको रिकमेंड करते हैं, जैसे कि ट्राई टू अवॉइड इट यूजिंग ऑन योर जॉइंट्स।
Hmm.
सो
Uh,
उसके बारे
yeah.
में कुछ आप कहना चाहेंगे?
मैं ज़्यादातर फोम रोलिंग अपने काफ मसल्स के लिए यूज़ करता हूँ,
हम्म।
और हैमस्ट्रिंग्स के ऊपर यूज़ करता हूँ,
हम्म।
और क्वाड्स, जो बेसिकली लेग मसल्स। सो मैं
राइट।
ज़्यादातर लेग मसल्स पे यूज़ करता हूँ, क्योंकि साइकिलिंग में ज़्यादातर हम लोग वही ज़्यादा यूज़ होता है। कभी कभार मैं ग्लूट्स पे यूज़ करता हूँ,
हम्म।
रेयरली। बट जो भी मैंने सारे स्ट्रेचेस बताए हैं आज,
हम्म।
वो सारे स्ट्रेचेस मैं करता हूँ। अगर एक हफ्ते में तो एक बार तो करता ही हूँ, राइट। जनरली ये जो स्ट्रेचेस करता हूँ मैं बहुत हैवी राइड के बाद नहीं करता हूँ।
हम्म।
बहुत हैवी राइड, 100 किलोमीटर चला है, बहुत फास्ट चला है, तो उसके तुरंत बाद मैं स्ट्रेचेस नहीं करता हूँ, ठीक है। उसके अगले दिन करता हूँ, अगर करना है। या फिर अगर इजी राइड पे गए, या 50-60 किलोमीटर चला है, जहाँ पे बहुत रेस पेस नहीं चला है, बहुत इजी चला है, 50-60% पे चला है इंटेंसिटी,
हम्म।
उसके तुरंत बाद आप स्ट्रेचिंग कर सकते हो। और
ओके।
मैं ये भी समझ सकता हूँ कि काफ़ी सारे साइक्लिस्ट लोग का रियल लाइफ में चैलेंज क्या हो सकता है। योगा मैट तो नहीं रहेगा, आप राइड खत्म करोगे, राइट। आप राइड जो खत्म करोगे, all you need is a small space with a little bit of shade, and you can use कुछ भी, चीज़, जैसे कि बेंच मिल जाता है कभी कभी, राइट। तो चेयर नहीं तो मैं बेंच को यूज़ कर लेता हूँ। तो यू हैव टू बी लिटिल बिट मोर, व्हाट डू यू कॉल, कि करना है तो फिर आपको बेंच दिखेगा। अगर नहीं करना है राइड के बाद, तो फिर वो बेंच पे नहीं दिखेगा। तो अगर आप सोच के जाओगे कि मुझे ये राइड के बाद ट्राई करता हूँ, और जो भी मैं बोल रहा हूँ, योगा का जो भी स्ट्रेच करोगे, समझ लो आप हफ्ते में ये हफ्ता जाके आप स्टार्ट करोगे, जो भी हमारे व्यूअर्स हैं, उनको अगले दिन उनको एडवांटेज नहीं दिखेगा। They'll not be able to see the good benefit of yoga in a day. It takes some time. तो थोड़ा पेशेंस रखना चाहिए, मेरे हिसाब से थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा। और शायद जब आप ये जो वीडियो आप देख रहे हो, इसको आप रिपीट पे देखोगे 2 महीने के बाद, योगा करने के बाद, सो मे बी अबाउट 2 महीना बोले तो 8 to 9 सेशंस, यू देन गो फॉर अ राइड, यू विल सी दैट चलो ठीक है, एक्चुअली काम आता है। जो अपहिल था, जो आपके राइड पे अपहिल रहेगा, तो उस पे आप अगर फास्ट जाने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, शायद योगा की वजह से आपको उतना मुश्किल नहीं लगा होगा, शायद। तो दैट इज समथिंग विच यू, ईच वन ऑफ यू विल अंडरस्टैंड, कि आपका जो योगा का जो आप आधा घंटा दे रहे हो हफ्ते में, या 2 सेशन कर रहे हो तो फिर 1 घंटा ले लो, उसका कितना आपको यूजफुल रहेगा, वो आप खुद समझ सकते हो। तो आई वुड से दैट इफ यू हैवंट स्टार्टेड योगा, ऑल द व्यूअर्स, you should start it once a week at least. Half an hour is also okay. बट इसको आप करते रहोगे 8 वीक्स के बाद, तो ज़रूर आपको मिलेगा कि हाँ, शायद ये अपहिल में मैं बहुत थक रहा था, या मेरे मसल्स बहुत टाइट हो रहे थे, वो अपहिल में आप समझ सकते हो कि हाँ, मे बी दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ योगा। सो दैट इज समथिंग विच आई वुड लाइक टू पॉइंट आउट।
या सो बेसिकली जो सोरनेस हम फील करते हैं अपनी लेग्स में,
या
बेसिकली आफ्टर अ वेरी फास्ट राइड और लॉन्ग रन, ओके, सो वो आपको धीरे धीरे रिड्यूस होती हुई नजर आएगी बिकॉज ऑफ दीज योगा स्ट्रेचेस,
यस,
एंड दैट विल हेल्प यू। दिस एब्सोल्युटली, उसमें कोई डाउट है ही नहीं।
एब्सोल्युटली, यस।
एंड मैं अपने व्यूअर्स को यही बताना चाहूंगा, अगर किसी को पोजेस देखने हैं, वी हैव सम वीडियोस ऑन आवर यूट्यूब चैनल जो
अच्छा,
दूसरे इंस्ट्रक्टर्स ने योगा टीचर किए हुए हैं, आप वो भी रेफर कर सकते हैं।
फैंटास्टिक,
So we have lots of content regarding yoga stretches also. So if
वेरी
still
नाइस।
you have any question, you can ask here, and I'm sharing contact details of Coach Sriram. You can get in touch with him on his Insta, on his Facebook handle. He will be more than happy to help you. And as you know, we are marching towards the end of the Tour D 100. It's ending on 27th Feb. So next week, next Thursday, when we'll have the weekly live, that will be the last series. And
Fantastic.
so क्या करने वाले हैं कोच राम? आई थिंक दैट विल बी ओपन फोरम फॉर क्वेश्चन आंसर, राइट?
Open forum for question answers. Yes,
या
yes, yes,
सो आपकी जितने
yes,
भी 100 डेज में लर्निंग्स है या फिर कुछ क्वेरीज है, बहुत से लोगों को वी नो
yes.
फिफ्थ स्टेज बहुत ही टफ है,
Hmm.
इट्स रियली चैलेंजिंग. सो बहुत से जॉइंट्स में दर्द हो रहा होगा अभी, सो यू कैन आस्क, ही विल बी हैप्पी टू हेल्प यू. सो
Yes.
here are the contact details and you can get in touch with him anytime. And we our another event, that is 100 days of running. Registrations have opened for that. Currently early bird offer is going on, so
कब
I
से स्टार्ट हो रहा
strongly,
है?
that event is starting from 30th of April.
अच्छा.
So that's a regular schedule of it. Last Saturday of the April, it starts on the last Saturday of April and it ends on the first Sunday of August. So it will
Fantastic.
end on the 7th of August.
Fantastic.
सो
Superb.
जो भी रजिस्टर करना चाहे खुशी के साथ कर सकते हैं. एंड थैंक यू श्रीराम फॉर दिस वंडरफुल सेशन. एंड
Absolutely.
ओके एवरीवन, हैव अ वंडरफुल डे अहेड. एंड थैंक यू. जय हिंद. सी यू नेक्स्ट
Thank
वीक.
you.
बाय बाय.